dimensions to a 10,000th of an inch. A part deliberately made too small is put into the machine as a test of its efficiency. Out it goes. When products were simpler years ago, inspectors were few and far between. But in these days, with more complicated things to put together, inspectors are many, and inspectors are important. And even after a product has passed all the factory tests, it still must meet the approval of the conscientious dealer who sells it. For in his turn, the reliable dealer places his own pledge of quality on everything he sells. He knows that the user finally depends on the dealer's own fidelity. The man who sells any final product shares with its maker the credit and shares with its maker the responsibility for its performance and for the owner's satisfaction. In the quality relay, the dealer is the final qualifier. No other people anywhere have achieved more for themselves and for the rest of us than the thousands upon thousands of hard-working American men and women. The millions who pool their skills and talents to produce the things we need and want. And we who enjoy whatever they have made for us do well to be thinking of what they are giving us. Oh yes, we know they work for their pay, for their food, and for the needs of their wives and the wants of their young ones. But also, they make for the joy of making things right, whatever the whims of our choice and the twists of our tastes. So, as we ease into our necessities, as we nestle into our comforts, as we relish our conveniences, it is well for us to remember that all these have come from the roots of the maker's mind, or the fruits of the maker's labors. That is the job that is being done for all of us by the American maker, producing by the millions, for the millions, to make life in America more enjoyable for us all. The grand job of the American maker.
When our founding fathers established this republic, they created a political and economic system unique among nations, a system which has led the United States to the very pinnacle in wealth and in world leadership. This series of programs is being presented to help all of us understand better our advantages under our American way of life.
For today's topic, let's join now a group of young people at the National Education Program Workshop in Searcy, Arkansas. At the classroom lectern is Dr. Clifton L. Gaines, Jr., noted young historian.
In order to have a proper appreciation of the American economic system, we must know how the national income is divided in America. In other words, we must examine the distribution of the great wealth produced through the operation of American capitalism. Is the distribution widespread, or is the wealth of America concentrated in the hands of a few, as the socialists and communists say? This is the central question for our discussion today. The answer constitutes a tribute to our system, for the wealth produced within American capitalism is widely distributed throughout our population, as we shall see. Basically, an economic system must fulfill two social needs of the population which it serves. First, an adequate production of goods, and second, an equitable distribution of those goods. Of course, there are other measurements of value for an economic system. And in our previous classroom sessions, we have seen how well our own system measures up, how it provides a high degree of economic freedom and great incentives for personal achievement, thus bringing about national progress. We know that American capitalism is morally right because its chief elements, private ownership, the profit motive, and the competitive market, are wholesome and good. They are compatible with God's laws and the teachings of the Bible. And lastly, we know that with her unique economic system, the United States produces 42% of the wealth of the world, although we have only 7% of the world's population and 6% of the land area. To sum it up, our system is morally right. It provides economic freedom and great incentives for development, and its production of goods is unmatched in all human history. This brings us to the central question, the question of distribution. Are these economic benefits under American capitalism being extended to American wage or salary earners? Or would this big segment of the population be better off under socialism or communism? A dramatic answer to this question came from an English socialist who visited America after Great Britain had experienced a socialist system for 5 years.
Tell me, who could possibly afford to buy food in a place such as this?
Well, this is just an ordinary food market. Most everybody in America shops in stores like this from time to time. You don't have to be a capitalist. It's not a luxury. Look at this, for instance. Competition and big volume keep prices down.
I say, begging your pardon, sir, are you a capitalist?
What'd you say?
What I mean is, what is your work?
I'm a railroad engineer.
Utterly impossible.
Another dramatic answer to the question of America's distribution of wealth was given by a Russian communist who visited America.
Who owns all these automobiles?
The employees in the plant.
That cannot be. The sons of toil, they are chained to their capitalist machines. They are exploited. They have nothing, absolutely nothing under capitalism.
The communist was amazed, of course. In communist countries, the workers do not have cars. A few of the lucky ones have bicycles, and the bicycle is a trademark of English and European workers. Comparatively few own cars. In America, as we all know, there are more automobiles than families, and this is only a hint of our productivity. Who'll risk a guess as to the total amount of the national income during this amazing productive era in America? Let's say for the last 25 years. Yes?
I would say it would be hundreds of billions.
Actually, it's up in the trillions. For the 25-year period just ended, it was $3,780 billion. You get writer's cramp with a figure like that. You may be wondering, who got all this money? To see how this wealth was distributed, let's look at this graph. This represents the total national income. To the employees of America, the wage earners and salaried people, went the biggest amount, 65%. The self-employed, professional people and small business operators got the next share, 9.5%. The farmers and dairymen who supplied food markets and our processing plants with the raw foodstuffs receive 6.5%. Stockholders, the people who could save a little money and invest it in business and industry, receive 4%. And you will remember that this amount was widely diffused, since there are 18 million stockholders in America today. Their investments of their savings have built new factories, provided new machines and other equipment to make new jobs in industry. The corporations themselves receive 7.5% before payment of taxes. After taxes, they retained only 3.1% of the national income. The people who had property for rent received 4%. And lastly, the bondholders, who provided the cash for new schools, new paving, home loans, and so forth, received 3.5%. Now let's examine the distribution of wealth in another way. Let's examine the income by families. In the most recent year, for which we have statistics, there were approximately 50 million families in the United States. They received an income of approximately $272 billion before taxes. How was this income distributed among these families?
Professor Gaines, aren't the majority of our families in the lower income brackets below $3,000 a year?
Not at all, John. Nearly 21 million families, or 40%, received an income of $3,000 to $6,000. 15 million more families received an income of $6,000 or more. These two groups contain 70% of the population. That leaves only these with an income of $3,000 or less. Not to be overlooked, a good-sized group, 7%, received incomes of $10,000 or more. But only 3% were in the $15,000 and above bracket. And from this bracket came the bigger portion of venture capital or investment money to build manufacturing plants and to start businesses, thus creating new jobs and new products. In the lower brackets go these figures. 12.8% received incomes from $2,000 to $3,000. 10.8% received from $1,000 to $2,000, while 5.7% received less than $1,000. We must remember, however, that in these lower brackets are many farm families whose cash incomes do not strictly reflect their standard of living. Mary, what can be learned from this graph?
It seems that our national wealth is very widely distributed, much more than I realized.
Yes, 85% of all income goes to 93% of the families, while the other 7% of our families receive the remaining 15%. Thus it can be seen that the great bulk of income goes to the majority of families in the middle income range, that a relatively small percentage of families receive less than $3,000 a year, and a very small minority of families receive $15,000 or more per year. In fact, if all the income left to those in the $15,000 or above bracket after taxes are paid were to be distributed evenly among the 160 million people in America, each of us would receive only 55 cents a day. And if the net income of all those who earn $25,000 or above were to be distributed evenly, each of us would receive only 15 cents a day above our present income. So we wouldn't gain much by liquidating the upper income brackets about whom the socialists and communists rave so loudly. It is to the benefit of all Americans that incentives for achievement remain constant in the upper income level, as in all other brackets, so that all Americans may enjoy the benefits from the total brain power and enterprise in our dynamic nation. There is one additional yardstick of our economic well-being in all walks of American life. Now that we have examined the distribution of national income, let's take a brief look at the ownership of property. The farms of America are owned by 25 million people. The houses of America, worth $230 billion, are owned by 113 million people. Our 50 million automobiles are owned by nearly 40 million families. The factories and machinery that produce the material things of life have 18 million stockholders. In one way or another, more than 100 million of our people own the wealth of America. And the remainder, most of them children and youths, will at some time in their lives own substantial wealth. The true facts about American capitalism's distribution of wealth and its great wealth production overshadow anything the communists and socialists have to show. The truth about the distribution of wealth under American capitalism makes Karl Marx the world's worst prophet. Marx, the socialist founder of communism, prophesied that under capitalism, wealth would be concentrated in the hands of fewer and fewer, while the great majority of people would suffer increasing poverty. The fact is that American capitalism has set a new standard for human welfare. And if we keep its basic principles strong and vigorous in the years ahead, the opportunity of every American for a still better living standard will certainly be enhanced. And perhaps even the disciples of socialism and communism will come out of their shadowy pipe dreams and join us in our march of human progress. At our next session, we will discuss the spirit of enterprise. Until then, class dismissed.
The American Adventure Series is a production of the National Education Program, Searcy, Arkansas. Dr. George S. Benson, director. Dr. Clifton L. Gaines, Jr. was our instructor. This is a continuing series based on the unique political and economic system which has made America great. Watch for the next presentation of the American Adventure.
The flash of power, the gleam of oil. In the sky, the power of oil conquering the heights. On the sea, the might of petroleum pulsing in great engines of the liners that traverse the deep. On land, oil feeds the fiery furnace or drives the diesel engines along far-flung rails of steel. And on the open road, well, you know what makes your auto run.
That's right. You know, in the old days, sometimes as much as 2/3 of the crude they might have gotten was left underground. Taking out oil as fast as possible is inefficient and wasteful. Around here, you'll find wells 20 and 30 years old being reworked and oil being recovered. But in some places, the stuff's lost forever. Measuring and checking as I do every day, you don't find such waste going on now. In many modern fields, recycling plants process a lot of the natural gas that used to be wasted. These days, the gas goes through all this fancy equipment, and out of it comes chemicals, which are used in making cloth and paint and plastics and I don't know what all. If that's not progress, what is? Well, time to eat.
It's mealtime in the air, too. The airline passengers settling lunch trays in their laps can look down on the very farms that feed them. Farming has changed more in the last 50 years than it did in the previous 1,000. A farmer today can work 5 times the land his father worked and still have time for leisure that his father never knew. The petroleum that runs these modern hired hands has not confined progress in farming to the fields. Life is easier for the farm wife, too. For one thing, her woodpile is a thing of the past. To do her cooking and heating today, she can have liquefied petroleum gas delivered to the house by a local dealer. Petroleum does still other jobs that farmers would once have thought were miracles. Petroleum derivatives kill insects and plant diseases, speed the ripening of fruit, and preserve it on the way to market. Today, a farmer can fight the odds of nature instead of giving in to them. Each hour of the day, our oil-thirsty nation demands over 10 million gallons of petroleum products. Between these and the raw material from which they come, there has to be a factory. The refinery is that factory. Just a few decades ago, a refinery was a primitive still, making only kerosene. Today, some of these great plants employ thousands of people. To many in American community, their establishment and growth has meant new economic life. Listen.
My job is painting, keeping the outside of all these pipes and columns in good shape. I used to live here before the refinery was built. Hunted rabbits in the brush where those alkylation units are now. There wasn't much doing over in town then. A lot of folks were even fixing to move out. But then the company moved in and set up this refinery. That gave new life to the town, new jobs. It meant a lot. Now almost every family has someone in the oil business. You know, every day a lot of oil products move out of here. All the time I'm at work, there's one jobber's truck after another coming in to get filled up.
One of the biggest carriers of both crude oil and refined products is the modern tanker, which with speed and economy can deliver its cargo to any port in the 7 seas where it may be needed. The oil industry's own Navy is a vital factor in the security of our nation. This tanker sailing westward tonight from San Pedro, California, is carrying in her side and center tanks aviation gasoline, jet fuel, and diesel fuel. Some 5 million gallons in all. While While the tanker is loading in California, a barge filled with home fuel oil has just left a refinery in Louisiana and is heading slowly upriver for the docks of an independent distributor. And at the same time, in the port of New York, the SS America is taking on over 800,000 gallons of bunker fuel. Since petroleum provides the power for both our ships of peace and for our ships of war, oil power means sea power for our nation. Power for the sea is also power for the land. More than any other country in the world, America is a nation on wheels. The automobile and the power behind it have been major factors in the growth of our country. We can drive anywhere we want to, at any time, for any reason, including fun. Out of the city into the country, down to the sea if we're inland, to the mountains if we live on the coast. To meet the demands of our over 36 million cars, oil canning plants also work around the clock. Together, we drive our cars 1 billion miles a day. It seems no other people in the world want so much just to get going when they have a little time. Maybe it's just that no other people can get going so easily. Every hour of the day finds oil men trying to make petroleum do more for us. The oil scientists and research laboratories are pace setters in the race of progress, working with products still unnamed and some that are still unthought of. With each new development of our inventive age, be it peaceful or otherwise, the petroleum industry is faced with a host of new problems. Our thousands of competing oil companies invest over $100 million every year in research. Each company's objective is the same: discover a new product, perfect it, and put it in production before the others do. They start with competition. What they create is progress. With the switch to another brand of gasoline, or with the purchase of a new detergent made from an oil byproduct, a company has lost a customer. Another company has gained a customer. It's as simple as that. What it comes down to is that the oil industry has to please Mrs. Martin and millions just like her. Already today, she's used some 87 petroleum products, including the plastic bacon wrapper and the wax of the milk carton. She'll top 100 before the day is over. Mrs. Martin is the customer, and the customer is the boss of the oil industry. This Tuesday's daylight has almost gone. Electric power stations are getting ready for the hour of peak load, that sudden increase in the demand for service which comes with the dark. Even though the old oil lamp is a thing of the past, oil still helps light up America. The air travelers from the west have crossed a whole continent since morning. But not for 1 mile or hour were they out of hearing of the men and women in the petroleum industry. Oil and the people who bring it to us are so much a part of our lives that they are everywhere. Our Tuesday is ending and the country goes to bed. But everyone is not asleep. The traffic in front of Ed Felix's isn't very heavy now, but there's still someone on duty to give you service. At the refinery, the night shift has taken over on the stills and fractionating columns. The tanker is plowing on at 16 knots. On the bridge, the mate is checking the course to a port 7,000 miles away. At the well in the Gulf of Mexico, the drilling bit chewing at the rock beneath the bayou is 100 feet closer to oil than it was last night. At the Indian River pumping station, other grades of crude are in the line now, pushing ahead of them the shipment the refinery needs tomorrow morning. It's midnight again. Tuesday has waned and is gone. The pump does not know when midnight comes. Days are the same to it. It pumps from Tuesday into Wednesday without a halt. Each day, every day, it brings us another 24 hours of progress. Building our nation, guarding its security, assuring the future of America.
A child went forth every day, and the first object he looked upon, that object he became. And that object became part of him for the day or a certain part of the day, or for many years, or stretching cycles of years. So spoke Walt Whitman.
Splash! Right into the middle of an idea that children are people. And a belief that how they play and stretch those muscles and minds of theirs is of real importance. Here is a camp, a school, a farm, all rolled into one. And it's a brand new world to these children. It has flowers and pigs, sunshine and mud. But best of all, it has room and time to let you find out what it's all about, without being marched in lines and told what you have to do every 5 minutes. If you feel like playing with a kitten, you can probably find a kitten that feels the same way about it. And if you want to pick a rabbit up by his ears, that's a problem that rests between just the two of you and the rabbit. 7- and 6-year-olds, even 3s and 2s. puzzling, wondering, questing, and learning. Now, just offhand, you might say we're smearing paint on some old boxes and bits of wood. And you might also think that all this doesn't matter. But that's where you'd be wrong. Painting is a very serious business. Just the right tone, just the right shade, in just the right place is important. Don't ask us why, but it is. We know. There's work to be done. We're building a wading pool and we need rocks. Big rocks. Whoops, not that big. These construction...
唱到美，下了车拐个弯啊，赶了个会，他大堂嫂见了我，又卖包子又卖锅盔呀，那个卖锅盔。
盔，立过墙头，脱过被，拉过架车，放过羊，跳过麦秸，打过场，背过锄，盘过地，开入4轮，犁过地，站个坝，种过地，这些活俺都会。因为俺是农村的，就爷爷太后悔，没上过学，没读过书，现在想想都想哭。
小秘密呀，心底不能告诉你。晚风吹过我的心底，我又想起你。多甜蜜，多甜蜜，怎能忘记？不能忘记你，把你写在日记里。不能忘记你，心底想的还是你。浪漫的夏季，还有浪漫的一个你，给我一个粉红的回忆。望夏天，夏天悄悄过去，依然怀念你。你的眼，你的语，都叫我回忆。就在秋天的梦里，我又遇见你，总是不能忘记你。夏天悄悄过去，留下小秘密呀，心底不能告诉你。晚风吹过我的心底，我又想起你。多甜蜜，多甜蜜，怎能忘记？不能忘记你，把你写在日记里。不能忘记你，心底想的还是你。浪漫的夏季，还有浪漫的一个你，给我一个粉红的回忆。望夏天，夏天悄悄过去，依然怀念你。你的眼，你的语，都叫我回忆。就在秋天的梦里，我又遇见你，总是不能忘记你。春光去又来，桃花年年开。满山桃花满山爱，3月江南如画来。雪
鼠药，药老鼠，大的小的都得住。大老鼠吃了蹦山蹦，小老鼠吃了不会动。恁不买，俺不卖，恁家的老鼠谈恋爱。轰隆呼隆隆，恁家成了歌舞厅。公老鼠，母老鼠，小黑老鼠，花老鼠，噜噜噜噜，噜噜噜噜噜。噜噜噜噜噜，噜噜噜噜噜，有恁的香，有恁的贵，有恁的半夜不敢睡，有恁的贵，有恁的香，有恁的皮鞋2、3双，都来看，都来瞧。东庄的老鼠撇个毛，都来瞧，都来看。西庄的老鼠8斤半，恁一走我一挪，恁再走我走不着。大家。
想要找个好男人，咋就这么难？有钱的不够帅，帅的又没有钱，社会太复杂，人心看。
哎呦，好凉快哟，好大的风啊，好大的雨哟，人都差点都吹起泡大哟。
女
家收成好，即使上去交易，生活往常你那个生狗头变成那个橘猫盆，你那个有我可算是个外包郎3个几分啊，90块花了那个漂漂的装，漂的装，漂的装，漂的装，那呀那呀
哥长得不错，可是钱不多，所以没有姑娘看上我。哥有多寂寞呀，就有多难过，只想有个安心小窝。
老天爷靠不住，刮倒大杨树。昨天穿裙子，今天穿棉裤，热傻了，冷疯了，冷热交替，整懵了。我问老天爷，今天我穿啥？老天爷说，羽绒服套短裤，裙子里面套棉裤。
娘为儿心酸泪水，全可你。 说不定导演能把我演上，为这事儿做梦都消停了好久。谁家的姑娘长得这么漂亮？哎呦，这也不是真漂亮。
你也别说累，我也别倒哭，人活在世上都忙忙碌碌。
叫一声啊，贵妃娘娘，保佑你上梁。
哭了累了倦了，要记得回家。
又是一年秋风刮，漂泊的游子好想家。
人静时躺下来仔细想想，活着真不容易。人活一辈子，到底是为什么呢？复杂的社会，看不透的人心，放不下的牵挂，经历不完的酸甜苦辣，走不完的坎坷，越不过的无奈，忘不了的昨天，忙不完的今天，最后不知道会消失在哪一天。这就是人生，所以再忙再累，别忘了心疼自己，一定要好好照顾自己。人生如天气，可预料，但往往出乎意料。不管是阳光灿烂，还是聚散无常，一份好心情，一个好身体，是人生唯一不能剥夺的财富。
单城头用不撒，打量着一枝花，北国的小大婆也不过17、8，眉清目优秀，温柔她有典雅，头戴着凤子盔，自己领在那后插胯下了桃花马，绣绒刀这个手中拿。
西厢伴娘穷心念，如今是怕都成了镜中月。
两里山是小潭，我比湖水，你的山。年年有个五端阳啊，家家户户炸油香。是君子英雄黄，万岁呀！生死你穷民怨饮酒浆啊！